It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News on this, the 6th day of December, 2022. Coming to you from Ocho, Rios in Jamaica. I'm actually sitting in B.B. King's Blues Club on board the Nieuw Statendam. We are in port. A lot of people, of course, got off the ship early and went ashore. Not a great deal of news to discuss today, but we do have a couple stories. Of course, the Seascape arrived in New York City. We're going to talk about that. I'll be on the Seascape next week on the inaugural cruise. Princesses hiked their gratuities and their Wi-Fi costs. Coast Guard Medevacs a crew member from the Carnival Valor, and quite a bit more here at 11 o'clock this morning. Today is National Gazpacho Day. I like a little gazpacho every now and then. Without going to the specialty dining, which I'm not going to do. Yeah, maybe I'll get lucky and there'll be gazpacho on the main dining room menu tonight. I don't know. We'll see. If you're listening via the blog, always welcome. Anytime you want to access the podcast, you can access it via my blog, which is accessadventure.net. It's usually posted within 15 minutes or from the end of the show. If we get lucky with the signal, sometimes when I can't get the signal strength, it goes up late, but it goes up eventually. You can always access it via wherever you get your podcasts from. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and the fat guy pops up. Anytime I post pictures or clips, there's always a link in the description so you can hop over to check out the pictures while you're listening. I do have a couple of announcements this morning. One has to do with amigo John. I talked to him earlier. 14 below zero. No telling what that is with the wind blowing. Of course, I did make sure that John is wearing his fur-lined fig leaf today. Many of you might remember our friend Jack Wise from Conroe, Texas. Well, Jack's ship sailed for the last time. He passed away yesterday morning. Jack and I, over several years, have become fairly close friends. Some of you may remember when Jack was active both on this channel and on the Cruise Amigos. He and I had almost identical health issues. He had been through prostate cancer. He was about a month ahead of me on the chemo schedule. So I had somebody there that I could, tell me what was coming next, how it, what I'd feel and so forth. He also had massive breathing issues, and we were in the catheters at almost the same time. I've been out of the catheter now for a year. I don't know that Jack ever got out of the catheter. His breathing situation was far worse than mine. He had to be on oxygen all the time, 24/7. And like me, he could not walk. He walked into a restaurant when we had lunch in Texas, and it almost killed him just to walk in. So his breathing was worse than mine. Of course, you guys know that I'm on oxygen, but as long as I'm sitting, and actually, and sometimes now when I'm in bed at night, I don't need the oxygen. But if I stand up for 15 or 20 seconds, or I try to walk you know, 10 yards, 30 feet, I got to have the oxygen going or I'll be huffing and puffing and go down real quick. But anyway, Jack and I were able to compare notes over the years. He was able to take his final 2 cruises. It was a long-time cruiser. He got to take 2 cruises. And matter of fact, he used my SRN number to get his Scootaround scooters. So he was a customer of Scootaround, as I am. And that gave him a chance to enjoy his last 2 cruises. So on behalf of all of us with Chillie's Cruises, our cruising family, and our folks at Scootaround, rest in peace, Jack. You'll be missed, my friend. So, sad news. I have had a couple people to ask me if I had any details yet that they'd like to send a card or send something. And I don't have any details yet, but as soon as I know them, I'll let everybody know. So, anyway, sad story. I'll miss Jack. Speaking of Scootaround, folks, I'd just like to give a shout out to everybody about Scootaround. I so appreciate the service that they provide. For me and for people that are mobility challenged like I am, on up to, fully handicapped, disabled, whatever you want to term it, whatever label you want to put on it. They provide mobility devices all the way, from walkers, canes if you need them, on up to scooters, and of course power wheelchairs with the WHILL Powerchairs. They just do a terrific job. You can get scooters on all your cruises and wheelchairs on your cruises, at hotels, at home if you need them. There's a number down in the description of all of my live streams and all of my videos, long form videos. I don't put the Scootaround on the short form videos. But you can always use the number, just call them. And there's an SRN number there, which if you give them that number, I'll get some credit for it. But still, the number's there for you to use. I see so many people on the ship that are just like I was 8 years ago. You're at the point where you just can't walk the amount of walking that's required on a cruise ship anymore. And I see people with canes, some with walkers that are really struggling. They just need to get the scooters. It's so much easier, folks. Oh my goodness, it is so much easier and more enjoyable. I couldn't do what I do today without the scooters. There's just no doubt about it. So I am so appreciative of the service that they provide to all of us. Scootaround, WHILL Powerchairs, the same company. They're great, folks. All right, I'll be back with a couple news stories after a quick break from one of our network sponsors. All right, let's get on with it today, folks. We're docked in Ocho, and the big Carnival ship that's here it's a nice dock. Yeah, Ocho has 2 docks, 2 piers, and the Carnival ship is at the nice one. And I was looking down at the one we're at. It was a little sketchy to me. Ocho isn't the most glamorous place in the world unless you're at the other dock, and it's pretty nice there. So probably will go ashore as long as it doesn't start raining. It's a little cloudy and not the greatest day out. I'll probably go ashore for a little bit after the show, but I don't have anything planned. I don't know if there's down on this end. I'm not even sure if there's restaurants or bars or anything. I've never docked here when I've come to Ocho before. I've always been at the other dock. So anyway, Carnival has that, I guess, tied up, and Holland America got the short straw today. Anyway, all right, our top story this morning, it kind of close to home for me. The MSC Seascape arrived in New York for its naming ceremony, and got in early yesterday morning, making it one of the largest cruise ships to ever dock there. The line's latest seaside EVO class ship, the Seascape, is in New York for her naming ceremony that will take place tomorrow evening. It will be MSC's first ship to be named in New York City. The Big Apple was chosen as the ceremony location in honor of New York City becoming a new home port for MSC starting in April. The MSC Medevacs begins home porting there in Brooklyn. They're called Red Hook, I believe. Not in Manhattan, where we used to sail from. I've never sailed from Brooklyn before. So I just may have to book another cruise on the Medevacs. I have trouble rolling my R's there. Dennis will fuss at me. The new ship, the Seascape, has a new Robotron amusement ride with personalized DJ music experience. I'm not sure what that means. 6 new entertainment productions, and I understand they are fantastic. So I'm looking forward to that. 7,000 square feet of dedicated kid space. I could care less about that. I mean, that's, it's great for the kids. But I'm not real fond of cruising with kids. 2,270 cabins featuring 12 different kinds of suites and stateroom with balconies, 11 restaurants, 19 bars and lounges, many fresco options, 6 swimming pools, including an aft infinity pool, the largest and most luxurious MSC yacht club in the fleet, 1,772-foot-long waterfront promenade, and of course, the famous glass floored bridge of size on deck 16. And yes, I will film going over that once I get my nerves up. So I'll be on the Seascape on Sunday for her inaugural cruise out of Miami. When the new Statendam will get back into Fort Lauderdale on Saturday, and I disembark, I Uber over to my hotel, which is like 10 minutes away, pick up my car and make the long trek from Fort Lauderdale to Miami. I'll have to waste some time because I don't think I can check in until like 3 o'clock or something. But anyway, we'll take care of that. And then I get on the Seascape Sunday. Looking forward to that. I've liked MSC. My 3 cruises with them this year were all great. I enjoyed them. I did not fall in line with any of the negative comments about MSC. And I'm looking forward to this one. So. All right. Princess, effective December 14th for voyages sailing on or after February the 20th. Daily gratuities for crew will increase in the following amounts. Interior ocean view and balcony cabin, $16 per person. It's currently $14.50. Mini suites in club class, $17 per person. It's currently $15.50. Suites, $18 per person. It's currently $16.50. So everything goes up $1.50. The daily gratuities are shared among many members of the Princess crew, including hotel dining and entertainment rolls throughout the ship. Those with existing bookings will be able to prepay the gratuities for their cruise at the current rate until the 13th of December. Also effective for voyages sailing February 20th and beyond. Princess Cruises Medallion Net Wi-Fi will cost $15 per day for a single device plan and $40 per day for a 4-device plan. Currently, the single device plan costs $10. I did not realize their Wi-Fi package was that cheap. That's excellent. Even the new price is excellent. $15 a day for one device. Wow. The line is also making an update to shipping for its Medallion devices, which allows guests to do things like unlock their cabin door and utilize contactless payment on board. Complimentary Medallion shipping to the guest home or office will continue for those purchasing the line's inclusive Princess Plus or Princess Premier packages. And finally, in the news this morning, another sad one, guys. It really is. There we go. I didn't realize that the Princess ship picture didn't go up. Oh, well. Sorry about that. U.S. Coast Guard executed a medical evacuation of a 29-year-old female crew member from the Carnival Valor. Crew member was Medevacs over the weekend as the ship was sailing on the Mississippi River near Port Sulphur, Louisiana. The story did not break until this morning. I didn't even know about it when it happened. Actually, Saturday night. New Orleans Coast Guard sector received a call at approximately 7:10 p.m. from the cruise ship requesting urgent medical assistance for a crew member in need of immediate medical care. Sector New Orleans coordinated the launch of an MH-60 Jayhawk helicopter aircrew to assist. The helicopter arrived on the scene and hoisted the crew member, who was later transported to West Jefferson Medical Center in Marrero, Louisiana. Crew member was last reported to be in stable condition. No further details of the crew member's medical condition or nationality were released by Carnival. All right, guys, that is actually going to wrap up the news portion today. Let's hop over and see who might be in the chat room today. Let's see. Kenneth's with us. Mike's with us. There's Pittsburgh Jason. What do you know? How are you, Chillie? I'm doing great, Jason. It's I like the ship. I like Holland America. So, as a general rule, I enjoy the entertainment a lot. The way they do it is totally different from anybody else. They have a show of some type each night, and then they have the B.B. King's Blues Club. There's a rock club, Rolling Stone Room, and then there's the cultural music, which this particular ship has a quartet. They're quite good if you like classical music. I've listened to them a little bit, but it's just nice entertainment. By the way, those of you that are solo cruisers, they unfortunately on the first night of the cruise did a solo meet and greet at 5 o'clock. The main dining room dinner opens at 5 o'clock. They did have a luncheon yesterday. So right after the show, I went to the luncheon. We had about probably 30 solo people there, 25 or 30. I didn't count them exactly. But met a bunch of solo travelers. It was a good luncheon. I was very pleased that they did that. I don't know if they're going to schedule anything else yet. I'm going to have to watch the schedule because the 2 crew members that were there had to leave to do something else. But it was a good luncheon. I'm glad I went. Cindy's with us. Hi, Cindy. Do a WHILL pizza review? Yes, I'm going to. I'm probably going to go ashore here in a few minutes. I want to see if this isn't as sketchy as it looks from 12 decks up. If it's as sketchy as it looks, I just turn around and come right back on the ship. But yes, my plan is today to have some pizza and do a pizza review just for Jason. I do a pizza review on every ship for him. So, Sonny's with us in Mississippi. Hi, everybody. When is Adult Beverage Day? I don't know. For me, Sonny, it's every day. Although I have to admit, I have not had an adult beverage today. Actually, I had quite a bit of work to do this morning. So I worked quite a bit, and then I went to breakfast. I had to go take care of some stuff down at the guest services. Wow. That was the speaker going out, I think. Anyway, that was a pretty loud crack. I still don't believe that guy fell off the Carnival Valor. Yeah, I have trouble with that one too. But yeah, and he claims that he has no memory of it, so who knows. Robert's with us, says good morning to everybody. Yeah, Jason says rest in peace for our buddy Jack. Katie's with us. Hi, Katie. Sonny says sorry to hear about Jack. He was a good member. He was. He commented a lot. He sent me lots of messages. Yeah, Jack was interested. Of course, and I did a lot of private talking with the health issues. So, man, it gave me somebody that I was very comfortable with, asking questions and crying on his shoulder. And, when you go through a situation like that, it is really nice and helpful that you got somebody that'll just, help you through it. Because there's times when, there's times when you really want to die. It can be really miserable. So Jack helped me over a lot of that. Sad that I wasn't able to help him through at the end. I visited with him, and when was I out there? The end of April. Michael and Donna Philippus came, and we met for a late lunch. And even back then, Jack had to leave after the first course because his breathing was so bad, just from coming into the restaurant. So it was sad back then. So I really wasn't totally surprised to hear this news. I miss Jack. I liked him a lot. Stay with us, Chillie, for a long time. I'm planning on Jason. Somebody got to keep giving you and hot air Tom L. I mean, So I'm planning on hanging around. I got a lot of cruises to do yet. So we'll see. Gonna get back home and start looking at my schedule for next year now. I put off doing it for as long as I can, so I'm gonna have to start making some decisions, figuring on how much money I can spend this year. So, was it hard to go down the ramp on the oh my God. Jason, I have to tell you, I mean, I get a little skittish. I mean, after I flipped the scooters twice, and that wasn't Scootaround's fault. Both times it was my fault. But yeah, that ramp, I was nervous as a cat on a porch full of rocking chairs. And thankfully, the guy that was helping me, he had to be about 6'6" and weigh 300 pounds. So going down the ramp, man, he kept me from gravity taking over. I'll tell you that. Helped me make the turns. I mean, the turns were tough on that much of a slope without, flipping it over right there. And going up was harder. With my big fat butt going up that slope was almost as dicey as coming down. But I mean, the scooter will do pretty good slopes with my weight, but that put the scooter, I mean, really right to the limit. So it was nice to have him to assist me going up too. He was a great guy, great big guy though. I mean, he made me feel small, and that's hard to do, Jason. I remember Gary Bumbridge correcting me about Holland America owning Half Moon Cay. Dude, we know that. I think they lease it. I don't think they actually own it, but I think it's leased to Holland America for like 100 years or something. There was something strange in it, but I mean, it's their private island. And so, yo, Brooklyn in the house. Ready? I'm having fussing, Chillie screws, and just fussing. Yeah, well. Eddie says hello to everybody. No gummies at all today. Okay. Yeah, no gummies. I can't have enough on the ship. I wouldn't take a chance on it. John, on the other hand, today, he might have into his product because it's cold. He's got to drive to the store to open the store today, and it's supposed to go to 20 below. Yeah, no, not for me. Eddie, what's the port like in Brooklyn? You'd be the one to know that. And isn't it called Red Hook? Am I mistaken on that? I think it's called Red Hook. The cruise pier in Brooklyn. I've never been there, so I don't know what it's like. Please do a pizza review. I'll donate. I'm not worried about you donating, Jason. Of course, I always appreciate that. But yeah, I'll have a pizza review for you before the day's over with. Jason, yeah, yes. A nice looking pie. I've seen a couple of the pizzas up there. They're New York style pizzas, as a matter of fact, Eddie. So at least that's what the sign says. Al was Carnival Chillie. Well, I mean, Carnival owns Holland America. Yes, I'm well aware of that. Eddie says New York City, Red Hook, Brooklyn. Yeah. All right, that's where the Meraviglia will be home ported, is in Red Hook. So that's where she will sail from when she home ports there starting in April, I think it is. Eddie says, not a great area. That's what I thought. I don't know how much MSC is fixing the area up. We'll have to see. By the way, this was a drill day here, but they finished it just before the show started. So we didn't have to have any of that nonsense in the background and the horns blowing and the sirens going off and all that cruise stuff for the drill. There's Carol. Hi, Carol. I haven't seen you for a while. Just back from a month on the Regal Princess. Wow. That's cool, Carol. I find it remarkable that Princess would put the COVID ship back in Japan. Well, they got to do something with it. I mean, the COVID ship, that's over and done with. So, yeah. What else are they going to do with it? It was built for the Japanese market. That's why it went back to Japan. So, Jason's doing MSC too. Yeah. Well, like I say, I liked MSC on the 3 that I've done. And I'll give you an honest opinion on the Seascape. It'll be my first inaugural cruise. So I'm going in expecting to be a few hiccups along the way. But we'll see. Also, I've had some reports back that MSC is not the best for accessibility issues. And I am finding, I started off thinking that the new Statendam was really good on accessibility things, other than a few major things like, you know, the scooters come to the cabin, can't get them at the curb. That's the first thing I noticed wrong. And overall, you know, like some of the trouble areas, most of them have ramps. Like I'm on a raised level in the BB King's Blues Club, but there's a ramp on either side of it, so that's easy to access. But I'm finding some issues. My cabin's lovely. The dining rooms have all been helpful, whether I was in the buffet for breakfast, which is out. This may be the best breakfast buffet I've ever had on a cruise ship. It's wonderful. The main dining room, the food has been outstanding. Last night I had a filet. That was the meal. You know, I had 2 shrimp cocktails. I had a filet. And you know, all the trimmings had asparagus and potato and nice mushroom sauce. And then what did I have for dessert? Oh, I had strawberries Romanoff. How about that for dessert in the main dining room? That was a pretty good meal. But I'm finding a number of the public restrooms that are handicap accessible do not have automatic door openers. So I filmed one this morning, and I'm starting to make a list of the ones I found that have the same issues. You have to, if you're on a scooter or a wheelchair, it'll be the same thing on a wheelchair, only you might be able to get a little closer, but on the scooter, I have to reach forward and grab the handle, turn the handle, and then pull back and move the scooter back to get the door open, and then move the scooter in while I'm holding the door and twist around to get the scooter in. And of course, the door crams into my arm, so I end up with bruises up and down both arms from the stupid doors. They're pretty heavy too, and by having to reach forward from the scooter, okay, because I've got the steering thingy column in front of me, and then I've got the basket that I keep all my crap in. So there's my arms are only so long. I'm a big fat guy like me, I can't reach 18 feet. It's a struggle to get into the restrooms. And it doesn't matter if the doors, if they go in or out. There's one of them that goes out that goes the wrong way. You can't even get in at all. But the other ones that are just the door issue, I mean, it doesn't matter which way it goes in, because one way or another, you got to do the same thing. You got to pull it open to get around it. They need to, if they are going to call them wheelchair accessible restrooms, they need to put automatic doors on them. And they've got a number of automatic doors throughout the ship. they need to put them on the restrooms. I did find one access to the outside, one of the decks around up on 10 had an automatic door. Both the hand button on the wall and the eyeballs so that it opens automatically when you roll up to it. But it had about 1.5 inch lip. So I went across it and the scooter caught on it. So I got stuck. Couldn't go out, couldn't get back in. Completely stuck. So I had to get my feet on both sides of the scooter and lift up on the scooter and take it back without wrecking myself. So yeah, you just have to watch those things. So I'm going to have a number of negative issues when I do my accessibility report on this ship, but it's still not going to rate that terribly bad because there's enough areas that make this more accessible than a lot that I've been on. But there are definitely some issues that I need to point out. So we'll see about getting off the ship today on terra firma as opposed to the challenges of a tender. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. Oh, I got a couple more comments here. Princess have to improve their current internet because it's not the best. Get the SIM card. I need to talk to you about that, Jason, to see about the costs and how it works. And because you're over my head when you're talking about SIM cards, quite frankly. I need to talk to you about that. Maybe when I get back home, you can give me some lessons on that. Prices are going up on Princess. Yeah. Jason says, thanks for being here. I missed the lives because the internet wasn't good. Well, that's one thing. I'm surprised that the internet is as good as it is on this ship. I've been very happy so far with that. There's been a couple little minor glitches with the signal going out, but I mean, that can be caused by anything from a cloud to a damn airplane flying over or something. But overall, I've had pretty decent internet service here, including in my cabin, which is nice because I can work. Nikki's with us. Where's Hot Air and Katie? Katie was here for a second. She's on her lunch hour, I imagine. Sorry to hear the news about Jack. Thank you, Nikki. I've been wondering how he was. He always had a good comment. Yeah, I like Jack. He was fun. I really want to try Holland America, but I hear bad things about it. Oh, good heavens. I love the food. Holland America has always been known for their food, Jason. And so far, I mean, I had cod the first night, pan-seared cod, which was super. And then I had mahi Diablo, which my waiter recommended. He said, you liked the cod so much last night. He said, you might want to try this. He says, it's got a little spice. It's Diablo, and it had a little spice, but boy, was it good. And then my steak last night was, you can't go wrong with a filet. The shrimp cocktails were nice big shrimp. It was probably maybe, I had such good conversation at dinner. I'm saying maybe 5 nice sized shrimp on the shrimp cocktails. And I had 2 of them, of course. I always try to get 2. But yeah, I like the food on Holland. There's Dennis. Hi, Dennis. Just got the notification. Sorry about that. Good to hear that he helps you. Yep, absolutely. Half Moon Key. Avoid the poor habit of saying K. I'm trying to. That's a terrible habit. Yeah, it's by Red Hook. That's what I thought. Yeah, the Queen Mary 2 port's there too. Yeah, that's the one. It's going to have the Meraviglia. Right by Williamsburg, a very heavy concentrated Jewish area. So we'll see how it gets fixed. From there, you get to see the Manhattan and the Brooklyn bridges. It's not too bad of an area. There's a council housing nearby. Okay, that's good to know. But you disembark and immediately leave the area. There's an IKEA nearby, just like in Southampton. Oh, okay. Well, I know the Manhattan station now has an Amtrak station, like, a minute away or something. It's really close. There's also a ferry from downtown Manhattan to that IKEA. Okay. I usually took the transit bus from Brooklyn Borough Hall Station. I've been to New York City over the years a bunch of times, and I don't ever remember. I remember driving through Brooklyn, but I don't ever remember stopping in Brooklyn for anything. At least it comes to mind. I've always been more on the Manhattan side of things when I've gone into the city. SIM card is elementary. It's not for me. I have no idea what the hell a SIM card is and what you do with it and how you get it to use on a Wi-Fi signal. It's over my head. I admit it. I am not the most technically gifted person in the world. I'm lucky to get a show on without screwing it up someplace, Dennis. Jason will tell you he knows. He's seen enough screw ups over the years. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap me up. I'm going to go see what Ocho Rios is like on the rather dicey looking end of the port here. We'll see. I'll take some pictures for everybody. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed the show today. I'll be back tomorrow from, let's see, what's tomorrow? Oh, we're in Grand Cayman tomorrow. Here's another one, a tender in, if they have a tender that's accessible. The last time I went on a tender to Grand Cayman, the second deck of the tender, which is where we got on from the ship I was on, I can't even remember what ship that was. That might have been Carnival Sunrise or maybe the Zyder Dam. I haven't been to Grand Cayman this year, so it's been before the pandemic. But I took the tender in and saw the mobs of people on the docks there. I think there were 7 ships in Grand Cayman that day. I looked at those mobs of people, and I looked at the guy on the tender, and I said, "Take me back to this ship. I'm not going to get in that crap." So I never did get off the ship. And I've been canceled out of Grand Cayman by weather about, 6 times, 7 times over the years. There was stormy weather or winds, and they just couldn't tender that particular day. So anyway, it's I'll probably go in tomorrow. I don't know how many ships are in ports. They're not doing near as many as they used to in Grand Cayman, but we'll see. So that'll be on the agenda after the show tomorrow. So tomorrow's show will be normal. All the shows this week will be normal. That's when I have to mess with screwy schedules this week or next week, because I'll be sailing. I hope the next week's Wi-Fi is as good as it is all in America. It's been really good Wi-Fi so far. Brooklyn is the new Manhattan. So much has changed. Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. Enjoy your day in Jamaica. We'll see. I'm not sure. I don't have anything planned. They didn't have any accessible tours. And then getting, off after the show, I would, if I had an accessible tour booked, I might change the show, but I'm going to let you guys know ahead of time on that. Now, I know in Grand Cayman tomorrow, I can get off, and I got, 85 restaurants and bars and stuff that are right there at the port, so that'll be a no-brainer. But I'll see what I can find here. All right, guys. I'll talk to everybody tomorrow. As always, you know the drill. Stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising. Hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. You guys have a fantastic day. I'm going to go to Ocho, Rios. See you guys tomorrow. Later, y'all.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.